We just people from the north side. Want some Timmy's at the shore fine. Winter ready on the full ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people from the north side. Want some Timmy's at the shore fine. Winter ready on the full ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your host, your boy George McKay, and the one and only
Uncle Bobby B, baby.
And that's right. And we are here not for the rewind, not for straight talk. Well, kind of for straight talk. It's under the straight talk banner, but this is now the Indie Wrestling Roundup. That's right. Named to be TBA, TBD, whatever you want to call it. I haven't really thought of it. We're kind of jumping into this right now for episode 1, but we are reviewing Destiny World Wrestling past show this Sunday, May 7th. Just happened a couple days ago. Icons 3. And it was a banger of a show, Bobby. It was a banger of a show.
I quite enjoyed it at the historic, storied Don Kolov Arena, where we've seen many an amazing show. We've seen a lot of great things at that arena.
Yeah, that arena is kind of the house that indie wrestling built, or the house that Santino Marella built for indie wrestling, should I say. But you're definitely right. Hallowed Halls, if that building could talk, the stories that would come out of that building in terms of the talent that have walked through the doors, the talent that have trained at that facility, the talent that is training now. The past is amazing. The future is now, and the present is now, and the future looks very, very bright for Ontario indie wrestling. Yeah, I kind of back to the future, the timeline a little bit. We went back and forth, but I got it in the end. All right, let's talk matches. First match on the card was Gabriel Fuerza versus the new era champ, the swag champ himself, Ren Jones. And this match was, I'm a Fuerza mark, so this match for me was everything, 150%. Gabriel Fuerza and Ren Jones did not disappoint. They lit it up. For a minute or two there, it looked like Ren was going to retain, but as always, El Diablo, Gabriel Fuerza himself, found a way to pull it out in only Gabriel Fuerza fashion, and we have a new era champ. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, my best friend, Gabriel Fuerza.
he found a way to pull it out. His pullout game is strong. And I was outside having a smoke, and I heard like down, 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 and I was like, oh shit, ran inside. Never miss a Fuerza match. Like you said, George, this was a banger. These two guys were like, it was a little bit of a clash of styles because Ren is like a powerhouse and Fuerza is more of a light on your feet, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee kind of wrestler. But they both were slugging it out this match. It was fantastic. Fuerza walks away with the win, and he's the new champ. So the swag champ is no longer the swag champ. It's the era of El Diablo.
Champ. He's just no longer the new era champ. So
yeah, fair enough. He might still be the champ of swag.
That's right. Yeah, he can still have all the swag, but he does not have the gold around his waist for the new era. And the new era of Destiny is reborn as the second champ in that title's lineage. Gabriel Fuerza, El Diablo, is walking around with the gold, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for him. That dude grabs singles gold everywhere he goes, and it's no surprise that he was able to grab some singles gold in Destiny. He's already kind of laid his name in that company for being the inaugural tag champions with him and Vaughn Vertigo and Fight or Flight, to having those titles stripped. They never lost those titles. They were stripped by Destiny president Emilio Albi for actions unbecoming of the tag team. And still, Fuerza's got gold. I'm sure El Presidente, Emilio Albi's not too happy about it, but hey, you're going to give the El Diablo a shot of gold? You got to be stupid not to think he's going to walk away.
He's going to take it. He's going to take a shot.
100%. Next one, we had another title match on the card. This one for another organization's championship. That's right, the Rebelution Women's Champion. We had a couple of powerhouses in this match, in Jody Threat and Vanessa Kraven. We had a couple high flyers and speedsters in Ray Lynn and Zoey Skye. And we did not have Ashley Dambois, who was the former Rebelution champion. No, for whatever reason, she could not come to defend the strap.
I know the reason. Okay. She got signed by Ring of Honor.
Well, she got signed by Ring of Honor, AEW. She's going to be kind of pulling double duty in there.
Yeah.
But regardless of the fact, and there was also one more lady. I'm sorry, I'm not mistaken. There was one more. Oh my God, Killer Kelly. Forgot about Killer Kelly. Killer Kelly in this match. I don't know how I forgot about her. I'm so sorry. I picked her up from the hotel for Emilio. So how I forgot about her, I don't know. My apologies, Killer Kelly. Please don't staple me or use a cheese grater on my face, because we know how she likes to bring weapons into the fold. She loves.
So does her wife, from what I hear.
Well, she loves her weapons. I mean, she does.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Plain and simple. But
That's why you're always bruised up.
Regardless of the fact, these 5 ladies tore it down. It was great to see Raylan from Pittsburgh. Vanessa Kraven did not disappoint. I mean, she is an absolute beast. She towered over everyone in that ring. She made Jody Threat, who's arguably one of the strongest women in pro wrestling nowadays, look like an ant. She made her look very, very tiny. And I thought for sure Vanessa Kraven just having the size and the strength advantage was going to have easy pickings of this. But the other 4 women in this match, they were smart. They got ahead of that early. Vanessa Kraven definitely did hit her spots, but the other women were able to kind of contain her. And lo and behold, Jody Threat coming out, your new Rebelution women's champion. Everyone got their spots in though. Raylan had some amazing spots. She was the one who ultimately get pinned by Jody Threat for the win. But her Zoey Skye did not disappoint in her Destiny debut. Vanessa Kraven didn't disappoint. Raylan didn't disappoint. Killer Kelly's been at Destiny a few times now. She didn't disappoint. And Jody Threat finally getting that Rebelution woman strap. She's had so many chances for that, so many shots at that, and it has never gone her way. But she is now the Rebelution women's champion. And shout out to Jody Threat, because she's the threat. And she took on those 4 other women, and she came out victorious holding the strap. So this match for me was dynamite. I'm a big fan, big advocate of women's wrestling. And these 5 ladies tore it down for me. This one was a great match. I would have preferred this match a little bit later on in the card. I'm not going to lie. I would have preferred it to kind of come right out of intermission. But having it second match in the card, it just kept the momentum going from everything. So what are your thoughts on that one there, Bobby?
Great match. Like you said, everybody got a chance to showcase themselves a little bit. It was nice to see more than just like 2 ladies on a card. We had a ring full of them, which was fantastic. Ontario, unfortunately, we don't have a huge glut of women's wrestlers. So it's nice that we brought in some fresh faces to compete with, our already established stars. Great couple of months for Jody Threat, Impact signing, winning the Rebelution Championship. Big shout out for Jody. I always pop for Jody's entrance. Shout out to Powerbomb. I think they're defunct now, but her entrance is a banger. And yeah, what else can you say? This was a great match, and Jody came out with the win, well deserved. It kept the momentum going, like you said, leading into our 3rd match.
And our 3rd match is the Warrior Wrestling Champion. That's right, world champion KC Navarro, the blessed one, going 1-on-1 against Ontario's own Brent Money Banks. And let me tell you something about Brent Banks. That kid is money. That kid is absolute money. And KC Navarro had a tall task in front of him. Literally, Brett had the height advantage on KC, but KC showed no fear. Navarro had the opportunity to speak with him, conversate with him, both on and off camera. Look out for that Straight Talk conversation coming very soon with the Warrior Wrestling Champion, KC Navarro. And this is a man who wants to take this title worldwide. He wants to defend it all over the world. And this was his Canadian debut. Warrior Wrestling allow him to come over here and give one of our hometown boys a shot at that championship. And this match didn't disappoint. I will say this straight out the gate. This match was my favorite match on the card. These 2 took each other to the limit. And what I loved about it all, KC Navarro retained, so he is still your Warrior Wrestling World Champion. But the show of respect at the end, the handshake, the hug in the ring, thank you. I know KC Navarro appreciated the athleticism of Brent Banks, and Brent Banks was this close, man. He had a couple opportunities to steal it, but Navarro just all heart and no quit. You're going to have to, if you want to take that title from Navarro, you're going to have to kill the man. Straight up. There's no way he's letting that go without him stopping breathing. Plain and simple.
Yeah. Brent Banks, first of all, probably, I want to say an underappreciated wrestler in the GTA scene, maybe. He's so good. Brent Banks is fantastic. And it's funny, we call him kid, but I'm pretty sure he's like a veteran now. He just still looks all kinds of young. And KC Navarro, what can you say? What a supreme talent. Of course, George, you and I are familiar with him. He worked for MLW for about a year. We got to see a lot of him there. One thing I did see is like, man, did he get jacked?
Yes, very much so. Put on some weight and some size. And you know what? But that's what you got to be when you're a champion. You got to look the part, man. You got to look the part.
I mean, TV can be deceiving because it doesn't always show like accurate how someone might look in person. But wow, like he got huge. He's just like short and jacked now. Really, that's probably going to help him in all respects. These 2 guys, what a banger. Their timing is magnificent. They had great chemistry. It was so much fun to watch. Brent Banks was close, but it was cool to also see like a big title like the Warrior Wrestling Championship defended on a Destiny show. I like that they did that, and that Warrior wrestling allowed that or whatever happened. That was cool. Great match. No complaints thus far on the card. It's so far everything was great.
Absolutely. And the next match on the card was the Reach for Destiny ladder match. That's right. Destiny briefcase high above the center of the ring. And the winner who could climb that ladder and claim that case gets a title shot anytime, anywhere. And our combatants or our fighters for this match were, hope I'm saying it right, Myung, Jae-Lee,
Yes.
Jake Crist, Bhupinder Singh, Danny Jones, Punch, Kick, Chop, Tarik, and the Bionic One, Alexia Nicole. And I gotta say this, I love Alexia Nicole. She's a sweetheart. She's a beast in the ring. She has no fear, and she is one of the most humble people you will ever see. But Emilio Albi, I pose this question to you. Why do you keep throwing this woman in situations where she can cause damage, but also get damage caused to her? I feel like he throws her in these scramble matches for punishment on what she did to that security guard a few shows ago, who is now unhinged, walking around with art and really just out there. I don't know what's going on with
that
him.
guy.
Yeah, Rajan, man. I don't know what's happening. He was one of the nicest guys in the world. Now he's dark. He's demonic. And if anybody's to blame, it is Alexia Nicole. She did do that Canadian Destroyer on the kid, but still, punishment is punishment. But Emilio Albi, this is just sadistic at this point. I feel like it is. But regardless of the fact, those were our combatants. And let me tell you, this match did not disappoint. The only thing that did disappoint was the fact that it started out with step ladders. I don't know where the step ladders came from. There was not a ladder that could reach the height. And poor Alexia, she had an early shot to kind of snag that briefcase in the first couple minutes. But because it was a step ladder, she was nowhere near that briefcase. But the step ladders did get used in quite a few fashion in this match. Oh, by the way, I feel like I slipped another name. Danny Jones. Jones was also there as well. He was in the match, and he was great. They were all great. But man, oh man, this match, like I said, and the great thing about it was the crowd was hot for this match, and they should be. But what they were even hotter for is when the right size ladders were pulled out from under the ring. That's when the crowd got really excited. It's like, yeah.
Well, the ladders got progressive. Like the first ladder that came out, like you said, it was like 5 or 6 rungs. Like that wasn't, where's that going? Nowhere. That one got trashed pretty quick. And then the second ladder came out, but intentionally or not, that one, the stabilizing, the 2 arms that got bent outwards real early, so that thing wasn't safe to use.
Yeah.
So then they had to go for ladder number 3.
Yeah, that got bent really early because Jake Crist did the drop kick on Bhupinder and knocked him off the ladder, and he fell into
big
the
shout
ladder.
out.
Yeah,
Jake Crist. It was great to see him back up here. What a comeback story. That guy's a great wrestler. I will say, little disappointed in the Destiny crowd. You guys were way too quiet for the entrances on this match. We were really spoiled with the talent that was in the ring for this. And when that third ladder came out, it was not only high enough to reach the briefcase, it was high enough to touch the rafters. It was like above and beyond what needed to be. So Alexia had to pick that thing up, and it was easily, it was easily 3 times her height. And she managed to get the ladder up there, which was an unintentional comedy spot is the best kind of comedy spot. And that just killed me. The whole crowd got a kick out of that. But Tarik coming out and punch, kick, chop, best theme song in Ontario. And he beat the hell out of everybody. It was a great match. I enjoyed this one a lot.
It was a fantastic match and well-deserved for Tarik. Like he said, he returned to Destiny for one reason and one reason only, and that was to become the champion. Now he's punched his ticket, so Steve Macklin better have his head on a swivel because Tarik could call his shot at Destiny any time he wants with that briefcase. And while Tarik was celebrating, the celebration was short-lived. That's right, because we had a masked man enter the ring and beat Tarik down to within, I would say, ambulance state. Like he got, fucked up pretty good. Sorry to use my French right now, but yeah, he got mangled pretty good. And then the mask was revealed. And oh my God, it was none other than the greatest villain in Ontario indie wrestling. The man you love to hate, the man you despise to hate, but the man could whoop your ass any given day in the week. And that is the one and only Golden Gun, Mark Wheeler. That's right, Mark Wheeler making his Destiny debut in very historic fashion. And man, oh man, were you surprised at all? I mean, don't get me wrong. Tarik just had a brutal match. Ladders were thrown at him. 5 other combatants in the ring. he was celebrating. He was not prepared for that sneak attack by Mark Wheeler, and he couldn't really defend himself. But in the end, Tarik did walk out, briefcase tightly strapped around his chest. But the fact is, Mark Wheeler definitely got the best of Tarik in that small exchange. But I believe this feud is far from over. What's your thoughts on Mark Wheeler's debut before we get into the next match?
I mean, I really like Mark Wheeler. I'll tell you, not to segue, but and this is not an exclusive list, but here's 3 people in Ontario that are ready to be on TV. And one of them was Gabriel Fuerza, who we already saw. And the other 2 are Tarik and Mark Wheeler. And again, that's not to single anybody else out. I'm just saying, here's an example of 3 people ready to be wrestling on TV. Super hyped for Mark Wheeler to be showing up in Destiny. For those of them who may not be familiar with him, he is such a good heel, fantastic wrestler, great timing, great fundamentals. He got himself super jacked over the pandemic. This dude's fantastic. It's going to be interesting. Macklin's got the belt. Tarik's coming for it. Wheeler's now in the picture. Maybe a triple threat may be on the horizon. I don't know. I'm not the booker, man. That's Emilio's job. But this was great, and I'm stoked that the Golden Gun has appeared at Destiny.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. And then we had a break from all the action of that first half. That was only the first half, ladies and gentlemen. We're still cooking. Great intermission, chance to meet some of the stars, get some autographs. My little one conned me into easily $100 worth of stuff, but it was worth it. She got stickers from everybody. Danny Jones, shout out for the stickers. Ray Lynn for the autograph and the stickers. Zoey Skye for the autograph and the stickers. Killer Kelly for the hat and the stickers. Vanessa Kraven for the autograph and the stickers. And of course, Casey Navarro for giving my little one that bracelet that she's been rocking for like 2 days. So she got to meet everybody. And of course, Jody Threat, who always takes time out for her littlest fan. And that is my little 8-year-old Ariana. Daddy loves you, and I'm glad you had a great time at these shows. And I'm glad all these superstars, these superheroes,
Hold on.
the ability.
We've been on here for like 15 minutes. Does Ariana need food?
No, she's good.
Okay,
she's good. Don't worry.
Every 15 minutes, she's like, I want a snack.
Yeah, she does. She's a healthy eater. But you know what? She's paper thin. I don't get it. She's got the metabolism of a crazy person. It's unbelievable.
Enjoy it while you have it.
Absolutely. 150%. Now, right out of intermission, we get lucha action. That's right. Rios de la Sangre versing the one, the only lucha lit Lince Dorado, who's making his mask finale world tour. That's right, because eventually he's already come out saying that he's going to remove the mask, and we are eventually going to see what's underneath Lince Dorado's mask. He's selling off the few that he has left, and he keeps selling them from show to show, but we know he will be unmasking very shortly. So this is kind of his mask farewell world tour before he reveals his face.
You think he's a cat under there?
I don't know, but man, did this match not disappoint. Rios de la Sangre looked in fantastic shape, and Lince Dorado, we've seen him work so many times. This guy can go, and these two tore it up. This was the best match in the world to put right out of intermission. The crowd's kind of relaxed. They've come down. They've met superstars. This got them right back hyped up. These two took each other to the limit, and some of these move sets that these two pulled out were phenomenal. Like some of the combos that they were putting out are just something that the human body should not be able to do, but these guys did it. They did it in amazing fashion. And without a doubt, Lince Dorado coming out narrowly, I will say, with the win. Rios had him a few times, but narrowly coming out with the win. And again, show of sportsmanship at the end, raising hands, center of the ring. Two guys who just took each other to the limit and showing the respect, which is all we pro wrestling fans live for. We love the show of respect amongst our talent that we watch and that we cheer for, that we buy tickets to see. And this one didn't disappoint. Coming out of intermission, Bobby, what did you think of this match, man?
I like it when the other one attacks one after the match, personally.
Yeah, I know that's
just
what
me.
you
When
like.
they do the handshake and then fake it and then beat, that's, no, the match was great. It was Lucha Libre action. Again, MLW, Lince Dorado, we're familiar with his work. Obviously, we're familiar with his work in other places as well. These two guys hit each other really hard. I was like, damn, like you said, Rios de la Sangre, this dude is pretty jacked as well. A lot of hard strikes, but Lince Dorado getting the win via shooting star press. Very nice one, if I do say so. And it was lucha lit. So I actually didn't realize that about the mask that it was the farewell to the Mask World Tour.
Yeah, he released something on his socials. I want to say a couple months ago now, at least 6 weeks ago, saying that this is it. At 2024, he will be unmasking. So we're gonna whenever he's booked for his remaining dates for the rest of the year. And I know there's a long way to go. We got 8 months left in the year, or 7 months left in the year because we're in May. But the fact is that any of the 2024, at some point, he said he's going to drop the mask.
Yeah.
So
I wear a Lucha Libre mask when my band plays, and it gets hot under there. So I don't blame these guys at all for not wanting to wrestle under mask. Like, if you don't have to, don't.
Absolutely. Listen, it's what again, wrestlers have to evolve and change. This is his evolution point. This is where he wants to go. All the power to him. And now we had another title match on the card. That's right. That's for the, I guess, interim, not really interim. I guess for the vacated Destiny Tag Team straps. That's right. Tag team tournament set up the finals, and it was Airstrike, Mike Forte, Tyler Arrow versing those Newfoundland nightmarish maritime most wanted sons of guns, Sabotage. That's right. These boys are fire in all aspects of the game, both teams, and they did not disappoint. They came out hard. They came out quick. And man, for a while there, it looked like Airstrike was going to take it. It really did. They had momentum going. They had everything happening. Referee Harry D, one of the best refs in the business, was the ref for this match, so we knew it was going to be called straight up. No bullshit. But Sabotage always has a plan. And before we knew it, another masked individual had came into the ring. She had low-blowed Harry D, and I say
she kicked him right in the dick.
Right in the dick. And I say she because she unmasked, and it was none other than other Destiny Wrestling official, Emily Parker, who was engaged to one half of Sabotage being Justin Newhook. So what happened? Emily Parker caused the interference. Newhook and Connors hit their finisher for the 1, the 2, the 3, and Sabotage, along with now Emily Parker, who I guess there might be some payback from Emilio Albi for the interference in the match. It seems like he can't get ahead. He can't. Every time he tries to do something on board with these tag titles, something gets fucked up.
Hey, you know what? This match, though, Airstrike got such a huge pop when they came out, like hometown boys compared to Sabotage. I think that just the past couple years, Airstrike's really upped their game. They've made themselves like undeniable. Like you have to kind of book us. You can't have a show without Airstrike tag team match. Like they're getting to that point. And I just love seeing these guys go from strength to strength. Sabotage, probably the best entrance of the night. Their entrance is amazing. The match was great. Unfortunately, interference, kick in the junk, quick 3 count. Congratulations to Sabotage, your new champs, but I wouldn't get too comfortable. I think Arrow and Forte are coming for you. So don't rest on your laurels.
The only way for, I believe, this feud, which is now definitely budding a rivalry here in Destiny World Wrestling, or Destiny Wrestling, my apologies. I would say that you have to put these guys in a cage. You have to put these guys in a cage, and you have to let them fight it out in the cage. No ref, old school cage rules, climb over the top, feet touch the ground. Now, don't get me wrong, cage matches can still have the interference, but no ref, no deciding factor, but tag teams touching the floor.
I would do it. The first one who hits a move off the top of the cage, lands it, that's your winner.
That'll happen with these two teams. That'll happen in the first 30 seconds.
No, because they'll all be going to the top of the cage and missing. It'll be just jumping off the cage all night.
So you want to have the 3-hour match, just these two guys.
It's just going to be a circus of cage dives.
Regardless of the fact, Sabotage is your new Destiny Tag Team Champions. I guess along with Emily Parker, I guess the faction is born. Maybe do you think they're going to do like triple rules there, like New Day? Like she can defend the titles if one of them is not able to?
I don't know. I think that's Freebird rules, and I don't know if you can just implement.
Yes, you're right. Freebird rules.
If you're not the Freebirds, you can't just do Freebird rules. I don't know.
New Day did Freebird rules quite a bit.
Yeah, but it was a New Day when they did that.
Oh, puns aside, our undercard main event. Former Bullet Club member El Phantasmo, who was kicked out a few weeks ago, actually, versing Mustache Mountain himself. That's right, Trent 7, the big, strong boy. And let me tell you something, these two have never faced each other. So again, tip of the hat to Destiny President Emilio Albi for putting this match together, and it did not disappoint. The only fault of this match, El Phantasmo's vest was so blinding. so ridiculously blind. It could have lit up that entire building.
It's so cool though.
It is. It's absolutely sick. It's absolutely sick. And it was great because El Phantasmo was coming out. People were giving him the too sweet. And he's like, I'm not doing that. I was kicked out of that. I'm not.
Yeah. I was laughing because like I keep up with New Japan and I saw, maybe like a month ago, I think it was. Yeah. Like we keep up. So I just remember seeing all these two sweets getting thrown up. And I'm like, guys, you notice he's got no Bullet Club stuff on? Like,
not a thing. I think after what happened, I mean, he probably put it all in a garbage bag and threw it out in a dumpster. Be honest with you. Because how they beat him down, not very cool. I mean, and don't get me wrong, which was weird because Bullet Club was in the back. David Finlay, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, they were in the back because they were the main event against the Rascalz. But man, oh man, I'm surprised that these four men were able to share a building together because of the heat that's there. But regardless aside, El Phantasmo, Trent 7 tore it down. It was incredible. It had everything. It had comedy, it had high flying, it had so much chemistry. For two guys who have never locked up in a ring, they absolutely killed it, and it was incredible, and it was great to see. And at the end, we had some sportsmanship. El Phantasmo did not get the win. Trent 7 with the win. Trent tried to help him up. El Phantasmo in the corner, unsure. And then what did Trent do? He opened his arms for the hug. Forget the handshake. Let's hug like brothers. And we
Friends
did.
Got a hug.
We got a hug, man. What a great moment. What a great fucking match. I mean, again, every match that we're telling you about, nothing disappointed, and the main event will also live up to its hype of being the main event. But Rob, what did you think of 7 versus El Phantasmo? Fuck, I can't even tell you.
Like, it's almost like there's no words. It was just amazing. It was worth the price of admission on its own. I really like Trent 7 because he's just one of those guys that you can tell he gets wrestling. Like, they all get wrestling. You can't wrestle if you're not getting it, but like, he just gets it, and that makes his matches entertaining, which at the end of the day is my litmus test. Like, was I entertained? I don't care if it was a lucha match, a death match, or whatever. Was I entertained? And always entertained by Trent 7. Phantasmo can do some incredible things. This was a great match. It was kept the crowd hot for the main event, which is coming up next.
That's right. And the main event was the Bullet Club. That's right. David Finlay, Ace Austin, Chris Bay versus the Rascalz. Zachary Wentz making his Destiny return. Trey Miguel, a Destiny staple. And Myron Reed was not in the building. Had some travel issues, passport expirations, could not make it. But don't worry, the Rascalz always got a backup plan, man. Always. Much like Sabotage, always got a backup plan. And the backup plan was the V guy. Ontario's own Vaughn, Vertigo, former tag team champion, one half of Fight or Flight. He stepped in, the last minute call, Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, and he was kind of an inaugural Rascal for the night. And it was funny because at first, Bullet Club was unsure of who this guy was. They asked him who he is, and Rascalz were saying it's Myron. It was definitely not Myron. They could tell. But you actually mentioned something to me before we recorded. You thought there was a missed opportunity here.
I don't know why Trey or Zach didn't get on the mic and say, unfortunately, Myron couldn't make it tonight. But, with the Rascalz, we like to try and keep it in the family. So we got Myron's cousin, Marvon. And I think that just would have been absolutely hilarious, and have Von Vertigo come out and do it. That's just me. I'm not a writer. I'm just saying, I thought that would have been funny. Marvon. Anyways, that match, like, great to see Zach Wentz just thriving again. That dude is so good. It was unfortunate, the situation that caused him to step away from wrestling for a bit, but he's back. He's working. He's killing it. Just super. And what can I say about Trey Miguel? He's literally one of my favorite wrestlers, period. Like, working. Trey is a supreme talent. He's an innovator. He's another guy who gets wrestling. Never not entertained by a Trey Miguel match. He's the Impact X Division champion. He doesn't suck. He's amazing. Quite to the contrary. He's amazing. And you had the Bullet Club, which, again, 2 Impact guys in Bay and Ace Austin, who we know what they can do. These guys are all familiar with each other. And then we had David Finlay, of course, the threat of the Sheila, always in the back when you've got David Finlay involved. But man, these guys, it was exactly what you would expect.
It was a lot of schmack talk. It was a lot of high flying. It was a lot of hitting hard, very hard. And at the end, Bullet Club was victorious. And it was a clean win. It really was. It was a clean win. No problems. But then Then we had all three members of the Bullet Club pretty much beating Vaughn Vertigo's ass in the middle of the goddamn ring. And they tangled him up. Fritz Bay, Ace Dawson, tangled him up the corner. Finlay had the shillelagh. He was ready to go. But Vaughn Vertigo was rescued. Not by the Rascalz, who were still on the outside of the ring after they had gotten kicked out of the ring. Trent 7 and El Phantasmo. So there we go. We talked about karma earlier on in the show. He came out. He had enough because he had experienced that only a few weeks ago. So he knows what Vaughn Vertigo's situation was. So he came out and without a doubt stopped all the nonsense. Him and Trent. And then, of course, Bullet Club kind of on their heels. And then there was a 3-on-1 attack after that. That's right. It was a 3-on-1 attack of Trent 7, El Phantasmo, and Vaughn Vertigo versing the shillelagh. The shillelagh got his ass whooped. Trent 7 did a couple of dangerous
elbows.
Moves. Oh, yeah, elbows.
Drops.
Okay. And then you know what he did? He was nice, though. He was nice. He took the towel and he wrapped up the shillelagh because he wanted to make sure that the shillelagh was warm. It was beaten down and bloody, but he wanted to make sure the shillelagh was warm.
I almost forgot. I didn't like El Phantasmo at one point had it like between his legs, and I was like, "Is this guy doing what I think he's doing?" But no, he was setting up for a pile driver. So I wasn't. It's just my mind.
It was a picture perfect pile driver, man. Let me tell you, because that shillelagh got fucked right up, right on the tip.
Oh yeah,
boom, done. So regardless of the fact. Bullet Club comes away with the victory, but Trent 7, Vaughn Vertigo, and El Phantasmo, they have their own personal victory of beating down David Finlay's shillelagh.
And that's a win. And I mean, that was the show. And as you can tell, like it was a great show because we enjoyed every match. And that's the key. We were entertained.
We were 100% entertained. And I mean, like I said, tip of the hat right there, Destiny World Wrestling. They are the truth when it comes to booking some of the best international talent in Ontario, but also grooming some of the best talent and giving us ability to see some great talent in Ontario thrive against these international stars. And it did not disappoint. And we also know that Summer Heat's coming around the corner. They've got a show in June with Seaway Valley that they're doing a kind of cross promotion show. But in August, they'll be back at the Don Koloff Arena. Macklin will be in action defending the Destiny Championship. And Deanna Perazu will be there as well. So that's huge. They made some huge announcements, and I can't wait because it's going to be epic. All in all, Rob, what did you think of this match card? Like, we're not into the rating systems, but give me an honest opinion. Like, if you had to give this a rating system out of 10, where would you put this card?
Oh, I'd give that like probably a good 9. Like it was almost as good as it gets.
Yeah, it really was. I would agree with you. Just to be different, I will give it a 9.2. Okay. 9.2. Because it was a 9, and then the shillelagh 3-on-1 beatdown happened. That gave it 0.2 of a point for me.
So you thought that was so good that it adds up 0.2.
0.2. Yeah.
Okay.
0.2.
All right. Fair.
I thought he was gonna really just start letting me have it, but all right. The 0.2 takes it. 9.2 on the Richter scale of entertainment. Destiny World Wrestling, they never disappoint. Emilio Albe, great booker, great mind, doing all the right things for that promotion, and it's in good hands. And the crowd was hot. The crowd continued to stay hot, and the way they kind of booked that match card, there was no lulls. It was highs, little bit of rest during the intermission, and then right back to those highs. So great job all around to the amazing talent that came out and the homegrown talent here that we had that put on one hell of a fucking show.
Great job, everybody.
Oh, we also forgot to mention that we talked about Rajan and how unhinged he is. He actually did take Alexia Nicole out of that shot at Destiny match or reach for Destiny match because he hit her over the head with his artwork. I don't understand this guy. He makes these paintings and then he destroys them by hitting them over people's heads.
So I think what he does is he goes, because like I've done this. I got a couple of them. I got into like one of those you get hand and paint.
Yeah.
And then you at the end of the night, you got this painting that you made when you were drunk that you got to take home. You're like, what the hell am I going to do with this? So I think he like does that. And then the next day he's hungover and he gets really upset and then just comes to the show and, paintings somebody.
Right. You think he's got a warehouse full of paintings or?
I don't know if he's got a warehouse, but I think he drinks and paints a lot, if I'm being honest.
All right, there it is. Uncle Bobby B with his statement on that. That's Uncle Bobby B's final thoughts we might make that a staple here in the Ontario Indie Roundup. It's like Jerry Springer's final thoughts. R.I.P. to Jerry Springer for sure. Peace, love, and wrestling. That's it for this one. We will be back for another roundup as often as we possibly can, as many shows as we attend, because we want to put the world on notice for what Ontario has to offer. We've talked about the scene to no end. We big up the scene as often as they had. I've had some amazing talent from Ontario on the show. And now it's time to start having bragging rights. When it comes to indie wrestling, Ontario is the top of the food chain in terms of talent that they bring in and talent that we have. And I don't think anybody can compete with us on our level. So honestly and truly, keep your eyes on the Ontario scene, because we are just exploding. And if you don't get in on it now, you're going to miss out on some great stuff. So for me, and the one and only final thought, Bobby B, peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you next time.
Adios.
Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and turn on that notification bell so you get notified each time we post a video. Alternatively, you can check us out on all podcast platforms and hosted on Podbean. We are also available on the SNME network. That's the Sunday Nights Main Event Patreon. Please feel free to check us out there as well. And don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at _Straight Talk on Twitter, at Straight Talk Wrestling on Instagram, Straight Talk Wrestling on Facebook, Straight Talk Wrestling on TikTok, and of course, you can check out all our merch at ProWrestlingTees.com.
I don't need a nigga cosign. Without the liquor, you become a victim. You ain't never got a pole mine. I ain't messing with this generation. Fuck your gender, I ain't got